Good morning, Lauren here. So, you probably noticed if you're watching this that I have changed my name. So I'm in the process of starting a webpage where I'm going to post multiple at-home workout videos, and I want you to join me. So it is 5:40 here in Pennsylvania. It's not that early once you get up at 4 a.m., but let's go ahead and wake that body up a little bit more. We're going to start lying on our back. Feet are flat on the floor. I want you to roll all the way down. Squeeze those glutes. Take a nice deep breath in and out. As you exhale, really focus on pulling that belly button down in toward the spine. Tightening up the back of that body. Go ahead and nicely raise that spine up and off the floor, pressing those hips one vertebrae at a time, right up toward the ceiling. So we have about a flat line from knees to hips to toes. This is our bridge, as you know already from watching these videos, one of my favorite exercises. I want to do a little bit more side plank series today, as well as forearm planks, I know. From here, we're still squeezing those glutes. Let's go ahead and lower down nice and easy. We're going to hover, keeping that body above the ground, and press right back up to start. Lower down and squeeze up. So this time you're pulling from the middle of that spine, right up through that belly button. Couple more just like this. Those feet are nice and light on the floor. All that work should be right here, right in that center. Good, couple more. And I want you to hold at the top. We're still in that bridge. Awesome. Let's take a leg away. Reach it right up towards the sky. Same thing, dip down and press. We're only going to do about 5 of each side. Lower, really dig that standing heel down into the ground. Wake up those hamstrings. Big muscle group. Go ahead and switch legs. Means big calorie burn. Lower down and press. Try and get those hips nice and high. You're still on that line from knees through the hips all the way up to the shoulders. Still squeezing those glutes. Give me 2 more. Go ahead, drop that leg down. Hold that bridge pose. Still squeezing, squeezing, squeezing those glutes. So a glute squeeze is also an excellent exercise. And you really, truly can do it anywhere. If you're sitting in a meeting, if you're sitting in line at the grocery store, if you're watching TV, walking around the house. And the beauty is that nobody knows you're doing it. From here, we're going to march. Alternate one knee coming in toward the chest. Relax it down, other side. Good, keeping that nice, about a 90-degree bend through that knee, through that joint. Everything else stays nice and still. Try and minimize any kind of shoulder shake, hip shake. Last one here. Hold that bridge, hold, hold. Hold, squeeze. Couple more breaths. Tightening everything in that muscle corset area. And nice and slowly, like you're dropping a pearl necklace onto that dresser, that spine comes down one tiny backbone at a time. Scooping those abs in toward the ground once again. Go ahead and shake it out, wiggle it out, whatever you need. Let's draw those knees in toward the chest. On your next exhale, I want you to come into that upper ab curl. So chin comes in toward the chest. Eyes are looking either right on that belly button or on the tops of those legs, those thighs. From here, let's go ahead and reach those arms and legs in the opposite direction. Circle around, hug those knees in toward the chest. Good. Really focus on pressing those legs in toward one another. You're going to fire up those inner thighs. And we can't forget the inner thighs, right? The lower that those arms and legs drop as you reach and extend, the harder that tummy's working. If you want to hang out here, if that's too tough to keep those arms and legs lower to the ground, by all means, focus on keeping those shoulders lifted away from the floor whole time. You're maintaining that nice upper ab curl. Good. 2 more. And we're going to go into a little variation of that dead bug. Go ahead and take those legs, reach them straight up. You can drop those shoulders down. I want you to bring your arms either out to the side or overhead. It's up to you. And I want you to lower one leg, keeping that other leg straight up to the air. I want you to reach up and over with that opposite hand. Switching sides as you go. So we do keep one shoulder blade on the ground here, and we're curling up before we twist, rotate, target that oblique. Again, if you don't want those straight legs, you can always come down to that bended knee. Sometimes it's a little bit much for that hip to keep that leg straight up. Nice and controlled. One more each way. And we're going to drop those knees down. You can shake out that spine if you like. We're going to go into pulses here. So tabletop position with those legs. That means shins are nice and flat. You should be able to rest a tray of drinks from the knees down through the ankles. Nice 90-degree bend through the back of those knees, and same for the hips. So we're going to take those shoulders, big exhale, lift them up and away. Pick a leg, any leg, bring it in. We're going to hold this position. Fingertips are nice and long, pulse it up. So those shoulder blades are getting even higher, and they're never touching the floor as we lower down. Good, we've got 3 more. 2, same thing, other side. Make that body even, right? Make sure you're still breathing, still pulling that belly button down toward that back. 2 more. And relax down, shake it out, roll it out. Awesome job. So that midsection should be nice and warm by now, yes? Yes. Let's go ahead and roll over onto one side before we get into that side plank. Before we get into that, no, I lied. Let's go into side plank first. I often lie when I'm teaching, but it's only for your benefit. So, your highest option, you're here. Shoulder over top the elbow, over top the wrist. Legs are stacked one on top of the other, still firmly squeezing those inner thighs one toward the other. If this feels a little too much for you, you can always bend that inside leg, come down to that knee. Your focus here, what's really going to get that body working, is to pull that bottom hip up toward that top hip. When you do that, you feel that nice little snug pinch on the inside of that midsection. From here, I want you to take that top leg, we're going to lift it up and lower down. Hovering that foot of that top leg over that rested leg. 2 more. Relax that top leg, hold here. Let's roll over to a high plank. So knees, if you want to modify, toes if you want a little extra challenge. Let's go ahead and draw one knee in between those elbows, relax it away. Other side. Good, so from here we're going to transition down to a forearm plank. And then we're going to go back to that same side plank that we were just working. 1 more. Nice flat body, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the abs, lower down to the forearms. Make sure those hands are parallel to one another, so you're still holding your plank. So I want to see that upper body doing this. We don't want to do this, right? If you need to modify, you can come down to those knees instead. So holding here, staying above that floor, go ahead and rotate to that side plank, same side you did the first time, but this time we're on that forearm rather than that palm. Again, hips pulling right up from the bottom to the top. I want you to dip down, keeping those hips above the ground. Oh! Pull back up, lower down, and squeeze. Good. 2 more. Hold that side plank, hold. And go ahead, nice and easy, come down. Awesome, we're gonna keep those legs glued together. You can lower down that head if you'd like. Lift that top leg about 1 inch or 2 from that bottom leg. And we're gonna open and close that book. Nice and high, really pinching that outer thigh. We want that leg to come about outside that shoulder range. Shift is what happens when you combine shoulder and hip. 2 more. Keep that top leg lifted, giving tiny pulses. Ups and downs. So we're not doing too much with the outer thigh right this moment. We're just kind of getting it warmed up. getting it prepared for what's to come. We've got 3, 2, glue the insides of the feet together, open and close again, that clam this time. Good, last 2. And relax that top leg down. Press up from that inside hand. I want you to come to those knees, but I want you to take that outside leg and extend it so that you have about a 90-degree angle with that groin. We're gonna lift and lower here. So, those first hip abductions that we did, a little bit of a teaser, getting us ready for these. Ugh, they're not so easy, are they? We have 3 more. 2, point the toe away, give me 5 circles to the front. Everything else stays nice and still, no hip shaking, and to the back. About tennis ball size with those toes. And relax that leg down, awesome. We're gonna switch over to the other side. I apologize in advance, I chopped my thumb, so my fingers might look a little funky down, but I want you to take that hand, make a starfish, plant it right underneath that shoulder, extend those legs out, and come into that high side plank. Good, remember you have those options if you want to drop to one knee, pulling hip to hip, keeping that chest lifted nice and open. If you want to take that top hand, reach it up, look up, totally up to you. And from here, that top leg, we're going to lift away, lower down. A little bit of space between those feet as that leg comes down. Good, squeezing through that glute, through that tushy that's closest to the floor. 2 more. Relax that top leg, hold that plank. Take that top arm, rotate over to that high plank. Oh, good, staying above that floor whole time. We're only hanging out here for a couple of breaths. 2 more. Go ahead and walk those hands down to the forearm plank. Hold here. Still driving that navel right toward that spine. Glutes are squeezed. You're pinching the penny right between those cheeks. And go ahead and rotate to that forearm side plank. Go ahead and drop all the way down. Actually, let's go ahead and warm up that outer thigh. Drive those knees in toward the chest. Lift and lower that top leg. Good, just a few of these here. We've got just this side series. And then maybe room for one more exercise. 15 minutes really does fly by. And if you can't do all 15 at one time, break it up into 5s. Anything is better than nothing. 2 more. Press the insides of the feet together, open and close. Excellent. So we're lubricating that ball and socket joint. So important. Last 3. 2. Go ahead and relax that top leg down. Press up on that inside hand. We're going to come to that bent knee on the inside. Outer thigh lifts and lowers. Good. So it's not so bad because you know exactly what's coming, when it's coming. We don't do too many reps. But when you do a tough exercise and you take the time, you don't need too many. Last 2. Keep that leg extended, point those toes away, small circles. And to the back. So that glute of that standing leg should also be feeling a little bit of a pinch. Last 1. Relax that leg down. Coming to that forearm side plank. We've got those hip dips. So position that body, shoulders stacked, hips stacked, lower down and lift up. Lower, squeeze. Pull everything in here, really tighten up. Last 2. Hold at the top. Come over to that forearm plank, knees or toes. We're going to take those knees, drop them toward the floor, hover, and extend away. If you're already on those knees, just hold that forearm plank. We're only doing about 3 more of these. And hold, 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 breathe. Beautiful. Relax all the way down. I'm going to take those arms, reach them straight overhead for your highest option, or in toward the back to to modify a little bit. We're going to pump opposite arm and leg if those fingers are reaching front, swimming through that water, pressing the belly button down, keeping the knees and the tops of the thighs away from the floor, squeezing through the glutes. We have 4, 3, 2, and relax down. We're going to press up and onto those heels, coming into that child's pose. Strong work today. Thank you so much for joining me. So every week we'll continue to go live. Be sure to check out my website, chiseledbytrinsey.com. You'll find tons of videos. I'm only in the building process for now, so not too much to upload. But keep coming back. I'll occasionally write a blog post or something about a favorite recipe of mine too. Hope you have a great weekend.